Title idea. Fate Unlimited Bow Works.
We'll see.
Yes.
Hello and welcome to the HQ Movie Review Podcast. I'm Josh,
I'm Jack.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Heather.
and this week we watched Brave.
Good one.
I wouldn't say that was a good one.
Paid for by the Scottish Department of Tourism.
I thought it was great.
Yeah, but how many people are going to get it?
I got it.
How many people outside of us are going to get it?
It's a
I
fairly
was
popular series.
just referencing the amount of times they say fate in the movie.
Also that.
Okay, sure.
They do say it a lot.
12. They said it 12 times.
Yep.
We
Yep.
did count.
Jack counted.
Jack counted, yeah.
Don't take credit.
We told Jack to count. And then he did all the work.
So, I haven't seen this movie.
You haven't seen the movie?
Oh my
Before.
god.
This is going to be hard for you to podcast, man.
Before.
I have seen it before.
As have I.
Yeah, I'd seen it.
Pretty sure everyone else has seen this movie. I just kind of missed the train on this one.
I didn't see it when it came out. I saw it like 2-3 years ago.
Yeah, same here.
So
Oh no, I saw it in theaters because I was that age. And I didn't want to see it. I was kind of made to go see it by my mom.
I was gonna make a joke about being in the target demographic, but I guess not, huh?
No, I wasn't. At that point, I wasn't a big fan of princess movies. Before I was, when I was like really young, but when this movie came out, it just didn't really want to see it. But I had to go see it with someone, and I didn't really want to.
But it was good.
Yeah, it was a good movie.
it's a good movie.
Yeah.
Pixar, you know?
Yeah,
They hardly have a total failure.
it was I think this was the first Pixar princess movie.
Yes.
Yeah.
Interesting. I didn't know that.
Yeah, because usually it's just Disney does the princesses.
Yeah.
Nice. I didn't even think about that until now.
Yeah. They make a joke about it in Wreck-It Ralph, actually, in the
Yeah.
second one.
Oh, I haven't seen the second one.
Yeah, because Vanellope's chilling with all the Disney princesses, and Merida's there, and they can't understand her because she's Scottish.
Yeah.
And Vanellope's like, "What did she say?" And the other princess is like, "She's from the other studio."
That's great.
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought the movie was good. I knew basically all of the major plot points going in because I had just been spoiled so heavily at this point.
It's a pretty
yeah.
good movie.
When did this movie come out?
2012 is my guess. I think I'd seen it on IMDb when I was searching stuff.
2012.
Yeah, okay.
2012. A year before Frozen.
That's a decade ago.
Oh my god.
Stop. Stop. I don't want to think about that. No.
Hey, is this the first time you've ever encountered something that someone told you happened a decade ago?
No.
No?
I mean, Heather specifically.
Yeah.
No.
Is this the first thing that makes you feel old?
I mean, it's not that it makes me feel old. It's just I don't want to think about the fact, not specifically this movie, but the fact that Tangled came out 2 years before it.
Yeah.
So that's your problem.
That's my problem. Is dang, Tangled came out over 10 years ago.
See,
I was 7 when Tangled came out. No, I wasn't. I can't math.
Do you want to try again, or?
I was either 8 or 9 when Tangled came out.
That's fair. We can.
see, my problem with the 2012 thing is I had my AA degree at the time.
Ooh.
Oh, dang.
Okay.
I don't want to think about this.
Yeah, at the very least, the rest of us were still in grade school when this came out.
Yeah. Well, So yeah, this movie, kind of interesting.
It's very pretty.
Oh,
The
yeah.
general plot is very generic.
Yeah, it's a bit by the
Honestly.
numbers, but I think they still do it well and in a setting that's not very well used.
Yeah, I guess that's true. But it was very much the, hey, here's a person who's been transformed. Let's try to untransform them through the power of love.
Yeah,
And sewing.
you gotta mend the bond. So, like, jumping ahead real quick, Mordu had to mend his bond by fixing the stone tablet.
No. Okay. So here's the thing, and here's what I think about all this. I think that it didn't matter whether or not she sewed the thing together. It mattered that she forgave her mother and mended their bond, and the sunrise on the second day is what turned her back into a human.
I mean, yeah, but it's really funny if you think that
Does that
it's
imply?
a literal problem.
Does that imply
Yeah.
that the only time that she could have changed back was on the second sunrise?
Yeah, so what I think it is I think that spell has like a time limit, and it will either reverse itself or she will stay as a bear exactly at the second sunrise.
Yeah, so even if they had perfectly mended their bond before then, it would have stuck until the second sunrise.
Yeah. Because they basically did mend the bond in the room when she was talking about, oh, we need to write our own story,
Yeah.
whatever.
Yeah.
Like that's when their bond is mended. So,
Yeah, I did think it was kind of weird to have the stipulation of you have to physically, like, sew something back together.
Yeah, because I mean, how many other people got that same exact spell and were like, well, I haven't cut anything lately. I don't have a depiction of my family that I've severed that I can put back together to fix this.
Also, can we talk about the three triplets for a sec? Like, they turned, but then they didn't have to do anything special to go back.
Well, I mean, yeah, the spell was specifically about the mom.
yeah.
Yeah.
So if she failed to change her mom back, they would have also stayed bears.
Yeah.
I see. Okay. Can we talk about how literally unnecessary they are as a character and plot device?
They're comic relief.
They had to get the key.
There's so many other ways that you possibly could have handled that
They
situation.
were the comic relief, Josh.
They did not need to exist.
They're pretty cute as bears.
Hey, at least they didn't talk.
That's true.
That
They had
only
0
adds to
lines.
my point of them
They
being
ha-
unnecessary.
They did not talk once throughout the whole movie.
Also,
It was just shenanigans.
they did help the dad to realize that Merida was telling the truth about the bear spell.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because they just run
Yeah.
up and they're just like, "Ah, we're here."
Yeah, one bear that Merida's protecting, that could just be a bear. One bear and 3 triplet bears that are like the same exact size as your sons and react as if they are your sons. That's probably magic.
It's dumb.
We never said it was a good plot device.
The dad absolutely should have realized that his daughter was telling her the truth when she's like, "Hey, no, this bear's my mother and your wife." And then the bear's just fucking chilling in the room. How the fuck do you think how else do you think there's going to be a bear in this room that's not currently attacking your daughter, right? How the fuck do you think that situation happens outside of some random magic story that she's telling you?
I mean, A, he attacked the bear almost immediately as he saw it, so he didn't see that the bear was not attacking. B, they established in the beginning of the movie he doesn't believe in magic.
Yeah, here's the thing. Oh, he doesn't believe in magic. How else do you explain a fucking bear in your castle, though? That's... When he was having this conversation, the bear was not attacking them.
Can I refer you back to point A?
No, you cannot.
So the thing that I think about all this is the king has obviously been desperate to try and kill a bear since one took his leg. So he saw a bear that he could kill and instantly started attacking it.
Yeah.
There's other bears, though.
Yeah, but this
And?
one's in his castle near his
If
daughter.
you saw a bear in your house, would you be like, hold on, let's talk about this first. Fight or flight, pause that.
Okay.
I need to see what's going on with this bear.
Again, I'm not talking about immediately when he just rolls up and just starts swinging his sword. That's one thing, and I agree that he reacted how anyone react, swing with his sword. However, there's a pause in that fight where he's just like, "Are you okay?" And the bear is still in the room, and the bear is not attacking you. And you're just gonna take this moment, just be like, "Are you okay?" And then she tells you, "No, the bear is your mom, or is your wife, my mom." Right? And then he goes, "Nah," and then just goes back to fighting this bear. Like, hold on.
I mean, bears aren't mindless killing machines. They stop and pause in their attacks also.
He didn't want to, like, even give it a chance.
No, because he
No.
doesn't believe that there's any possibility that his wife turned into a bear.
If he thought about it critically for literally 3 seconds.
If he thought about it critically, you think he would jump to, yes, magic has turned my wife into a bear?
If his daughter told him so.
Listen,
Josh.
suspension of disbelief is one thing. What on earth are you talking about?
Okay, first of all, Josh, it is established he does not believe that magic exists.
Yeah.
But shut up. But you are saying that if he thought critically in this situation where he is just fight or flight, there's a bear in my castle supposedly attacking my daughter.
A teenager told me my wife turned into a bear. I must
Yeah.
believe her.
Let me
Why?
think about this critically.
What do you mean, why?
Yeah.
Bear,
What? Think of,
daughter.
literally.
Daughter's mad at mom.
Why would
Bear,
why would the daughter
kill
be
bear.
like, "No, don't attack this bear"? Why?
I don't know.
In
I
what,
love him.
Maybe
what what reasoning would there be for the daughter to say, "Don't attack the bear"?
I don't know. Maybe she's irrational. Maybe she saw a bear attack her mom and she didn't know how to process that. Who knows? Who knows, Josh? Why would anyone jump to the conclusion, yes, magic must be real and my wife is a bear now because a teenager told me so?
It's your daughter.
It doesn't
And?
matter, Josh. Josh,
That is my only problem.
As
with-
far as this man is concerned, he lives in a world without magic.
Josh, if I went up to Dad and I told him that there was the bear that's in the room with us is actually Mom, would he believe me?
I think he'd take a second to be like, "What the heck are you talking about?"
And then would
Honestly, I
he
don't think he would.
continue to believe me?
Think critically, man. I'm just saying, like,
There's a teenager. Well, okay.
the bear's not attacking. You've attacked the bear. The bear has retaliated and then retreated, and the bear is sitting there doing nothing.
All right, maybe the bear isn't interested in eating you. It doesn't mean that it's not a bear.
Why is this taking so long for us
I
to
don't-
talk through?
I just don't
Because
understand.
I'm not going to let it go, and you guys aren't letting it go.
Yeah, because you're stubborn and wrong.
I think if we've learned anything in these past 5 minutes we've been talking about it, is that Josh could very easily be convinced that magic is real in the real world.
If his teenage daughter declares that the bear in the room with them is her mother, then
Josh
yes,
would-
he will
Josh would
absolutely
stop to
believe.
consider it.
He would
And
stop
if the bear's not attacking, then yeah.
Josh, there are many reasons why a bear would not attack. There are several. Real bears don't always attack people.
Yeah.
Sometimes they just go through the trash in your neighborhood.
Sometimes they're scared of people, so like I just want to. Sometimes bears want to run away.
Yeah.
Sometimes a bear will just stare at you because it's like I don't know what to make of the situation. There's tons of reasons why a bear would or would not attack.
Yeah.
Being your wife, usually not one of them.
Yeah. I didn't say immediately that I would believe that it is my wife.
But you
I'm
would
just
think
saying-
critically about it.
Exactly. I wouldn't just go fucking ham fist swinging a goddamn sword at a bear.
Well, yeah, you don't have a sword.
I have a sword.
I
Like,
also
the
have a
point
sword.
is, you go, all right, hold on. Let's step away from the situation for a sec. Let's see if the bear does anything. And if not, maybe we can figure out from here. If the bear starts doing something, then yeah, you go ahead and go try to kill it. But if you're told something, hey, this bear, there's something up with this bear. There's some magic going on. It's actually your wife. It's their mom. Whatever, right? And the bear's not doing anything, right? Maybe you just go, hold on. Let's not for a sec and see what happens. Why don't we get out of the room, close the door, maybe not immediately try to kill this thing. Maybe we just try to retreat and, figure out what's going on.
Oh my
Listen,
gosh.
I love this fucking around and find out energy, but we gotta move on.
Please. This episode is just gonna be think critically about the bear in the room. Maybe the bear's actually your wife.
I'm just saying it was.
What if, and hear me out here, what if you're married to a bear?
And then you see a human in your room and you're like, whoa. Wait, this is just like Goldilocks.
Well,
You're
Fucking
married to a
what?
bear and you find a human in your room.
Anyway.
Where did you get Goldilocks from?
in this scenario, you're Papa Bear.
In this scenario, you're married to a bear and you're like, whoa, there's a human in my room.
And they ate my porridge. And they slept in my son's bed. I don't remember how the story ends.
They eat Goldilocks.
They do.
Is that...
That's how it ends.
Anyway.
Isn't she found sleeping in the son's bed?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like,
Because she tries the father and the mother's and it's too soft and too hard.
I guess, I don't
Yeah,
remember.
and then like
And then-
the little bear's bed is like just right.
Yeah.
Like it's porridge.
Yeah.
And then they show up and they're like, there's just a small blonde girl in our son's bed.
And she ate our porridge, so we'll eat her.
I mean, she only ate the son's porridge.
We'll eat
She
her.
took a bite of theirs.
It's contaminated.
It's porridge. How would you even notice? It fills the space.
It's contaminated.
We're so far off topic.
How did we get here?
Can we
Bears.
talk about the 3 clans that just show up as part of like the marriage thing
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
and how terrible they are?
They're awful.
I mean,
Not just as like as people, they're like not that bad. Character design wise,
Oh yeah, they're just bad.
their character designs are terrible. Especially the fucking what was it, Dingwalls or something?
The Dingwalls, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I mean, that's the thing with like, especially in like American animation, women have to be pretty. Men can look like anything.
yeah.
Think about it. Like, there's like 3 women in the movie who have names. All of them are at least like somewhat pretty. Like, Merida and her mom are pretty. The other lady is, I mean,
She's supposed to be a maid, so
Yeah,
they
she's
didn't
supposed to be a
worry
maid.
about making her pretty.
yeah, but she still looks like human. She looks like a person you could see. The men are shapes.
I mean,
Yeah.
the witch also looks bad, but that's
I mean,
a
she's
witch.
an old
Yeah,
lady.
that's a witch.
It's also a
But
witch.
yeah, no, the men are fucking terrible.
Or like, think about Inside Out. The 2 female emotions have relatively human shapes.
2.
There are 3.
There are 3.
Sorry, yeah.
I haven't even seen the movie, Jack.
I was thinking, fucking,
It's literally right here, Jack.
I'm not looking at your. No one can see your blanket, Brandon. It's an audio medium.
Honestly, I did forget about the.
Disgust.
Yeah, is that what it was?
Yes.
Okay. I did absolutely forget about the other characters
I'm
other
cutting
than
all of this
joy,
out.
sadness, and anger.
Disgust is barely a character. My point is, the 3 female characters who are emotions have relatively humanoid designs.
Yeah.
Anger is a square.
Yes.
Yep.
Fear looks like some kind of stick bug.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, fear and anger are Muppets.
Yeah, exactly. They don't have to look like people because they're men.
Yeah, none of the men in this actually look like people.
So it's weird. I mean,
Yeah,
sometimes they do that.
Yeah, it's a thing with animation sometimes.
Like, the dad's got neck for days. Like, his neck is actually twice as wide as his head.
Yeah. Also, his face is mostly nose. It's
Also, he's just large.
Yeah, his
Yeah,
hand is
I
so
mean-
big that when he holds hands with his wife, she has to hold on to his index finger.
Yeah, but like that's what every animation studio does when they're showing like a king in like a medieval time, you know?
I mean, I get it. It's not like just why? Just make them normal sized. Like that one other like clan head or whatever, like what, not the
I don't remember.
The one with the son that couldn't talk.
yes. They're both like him and the son are both just large. Like
Yeah,
not
but they're still
just-
not nearly
just-
as large as the king.
it's like if they took the scaling and just went yoop.
They're One Piece characters.
They're One Piece characters. Yes, they just
enormous.
get bigger.
But yeah, no, that's my point. It's a thing that just happens because like female characters are not allowed to be ugly.
Yeah, it's fair.
Or like in really bad video games, and it's like, oh yes, here's the male orc. He's a giant like monster, and the female orc, who's just like a green woman with fangs. It's the same thing.
And people wonder why this generation has, self-esteem issues.
Honestly, not where I thought you were going with that sentence, but
Yeah.
that's better. That's the better ending. Honestly.
Yeah.
I don't know where you thought it was gonna go.
Doesn't matter.
And I
important.
don't
Furries.
want to.
God damn it.
So,
Too late. You
Jack, you didn't have to say it.
moving on.
shouldn't have told me, but you did. Now I'm telling you. You don't want to know. Atlantis is a good movie. Anyway,
It is. Man, I wish we could do a podcast on Atlantis.
I mean, we can.
there's nothing stopping. I mean, we can't do it right now.
I mean, I know not right now, but like, it's not on the list anymore because we've already watched it.
we could probably just put that back on the list.
Yeah.
So Brave.
Brave, yes.
So in the beginning of the movie, after Merida and her mom have like their initial falling out, her mom goes to like talk to her dad, and they're like, it's this very fun scene where they're doing like a mock conversation with each other, and they're perfectly responding to what the other one would say. Merida is talking to her horse, so she's just guessing what her mom is saying. Her mom is talking to the king, who is responding as Merida, and she's responding to what he's saying, which is actually what Merida's saying. So he knows perfectly what Merida would say to all of these things for the mom to have the other half of the conversation.
Which then means that the mom had that conversation and still didn't change anything.
Yeah. It also means that the king like really understands his daughter.
Yeah.
Like the king is the best character in the movie.
Oh no,
in my
he's great.
Yeah.
He's awesome.
He's a delight. A little bit murdery when it comes to the idea of bears, but
Yeah. I mean, if one ate your leg, you would be too.
yeah.
And that's fair.
If one ate my leg and then I thought it ate my wife,
Yeah.
Everyone has their flaws, but yeah. Other than that, like, fantastic character. Fully understands his daughter, just fully supports her. The only thing he doesn't do is like
Think critically.
about bears.
no,
A bear being his wife.
no. I was going to say talk to his wife about their daughter because he clearly understands her plight and that the mother is being a helicopter mother and won't let her do anything that she wants to do.
I mean, he does talk to her. It's just that they are stuck in tradition.
I know, that's what I'm saying though, is that's the only thing that like he didn't fully do. Like everything else, great. That's the one thing that he could have done to help resolve the situation more.
And honestly, the tradition argument is kind of weak. At the end of the movie, they talk about how like they started that kingdom, like them specifically. Like he
Yeah.
is the first king of this kingdom. These traditions are one generation old at best.
These aren't traditions yet. That's just the thing that they're doing.
Yeah.
They've established it and they went, this is going to be the tradition.
Yeah.
The next generation, we're going to break tradition. It's not a tradition yet, but go on, I guess.
I mean, I feel like they were just trying to go along with what they knew about, like, monarchies and their traditions.
Yeah.
Yes,
You
that's
know.
fair. Yeah.
Because they obviously just tried to mimic a monarchy and create one from there. Because, like, most monarchies are like, oh, this family was chosen by God. But in their case, it's just, no, we just chose this person to be king.
Yeah.
But we're going to keep everything else that a normal monarchy does. And then after, like, one generation, they're like, no, this doesn't work.
Actually, that's whack. Anyway. But yeah. Also, I really like that in the movie, they talk about, like, oh, yeah, this old kingdom in legend. And it's like, oh, yeah, this legendary kingdom that's name has faded from history. And it's like, yeah, this was, like, a day's walk away from where their kingdom is now.
Yeah.
Yeah, but it was somewhere in the forest.
Yeah, but my point being, like, this thing happened so long ago that they've forgotten that this was a real place. So Mordu is an immortal bear.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah.
basically.
And I mean, after the movie, there is a short called Mordu on Disney Plus, which I did not know about, which does actually confirm that he was an immortal bear.
Okay.
But, like, it's just wild to think about that they're like, oh, yeah, that old kingdom, that was real, and it happened here, and he's still around. Also, it means that the queen would have also been an immortal bear.
Well, they didn't know that the one son turned into a bear.
I mean, like, Merida put that together.
Yeah, Merida did.
Yeah.
That's it.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Well, I mean, the story basically just ends with them going to war, not like, you know, the actual end where, like, everyone dies. It's like, hey, the kingdom fell into ruin. Like, yeah, it just implies that everyone died, which they did, but it doesn't say why.
Yeah.
Like, and technically, he doesn't turn into a bear until after the wars start.
Yeah. No, I mean, I get that. I'm just saying it's wild that he was an immortal bear.
Oh, yeah, no, that was weird.
Yeah, y'all are just like casually glancing at the fact that Jack brought up. He's immortal.
Yeah. They had, like, he's not unkillable, but they had to kill him because there was no other way to get rid of him.
Yeah.
You could not outlive this
They-
bear.
They could die in battle. That was it.
That's it.
They do not die of old age.
Yeah. Which means that, like, had they not stopped it, the queen would have also been an immortal bear, and there would have just been 2 immortal bears running around.
That's too many immortal bears.
Yes, it's entirely too many.
I feel like one is too many immortal bears.
No, it's too many.
No, I got the joke. We were just... It wasn't
Just
good.
a bad one.
It's just a bad joke.
Uh,
You ever think about how, like, bears are kind of monsters? Not
Yeah.
like that they're worse than other animals. It's just like, that's a monster. If we lived in a fantasy world or something, bears would be considered monsters, not animals.
Yeah,
Yeah.
most likely. Like,
Especially considering, like, you can't just, like, shoot them.
Yeah, it's
They're effectively bulletproof.
yeah, it's a giant bulletproof monster.
I mean, I feel like that's true for really any animal that's larger than us.
I mean, yeah, have you seen moose?
Yeah, like moose, that's a monster. Hippo, that's a monster.
Absolutely.
Elephants, that's a big monster.
Yeah, it's a big, nice monster. But it's definitely a monster.
Yeah.
Yeah. Like animals are things that are smaller than us.
I'd say up to the same size, maybe.
yeah. Because we definitely still consider, like, apes an animal.
I don't know.
That one's debatable.
Yeah, I don't know. Like a gorilla? I think a
That's a
gorilla counts as a monster.
Monster. Monkey? Animal.
A gorilla is a monster that's kind of like a monkey.
This is weird. So one thing I read on... I'm just moving on.
Moving
I'm
on.
pulling something up. One thing I read on IMDb, apparently none of the footage in the original trailer is in the movie whatsoever.
I'm gonna be honest, I don't remember the original trailer.
Neither
I
do
don't either, but according to the IMDb trivia, absolutely nothing in the original trailer was in the movie,
Interesting.
and a lot of people were very confused about it.
It's funny to think that that's kind of common now.
Well, it's common to have like some things cut out from the movie. Back then, it was like if you didn't include something in the movie, people specifically pointed it out and remembered it.
Yeah.
Like, there's still a moment I remember for one of the Pirates of the Caribbean movies that was in a trailer and then they took it out.
Huh.
But, yeah, nothing in the original trailer was in the movie.
I mean, nowadays, the whole movies and the trailers.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, bad trailers. I mean, I just thought about like the trailers they put out for Lilo and Stitch, where he was just in other characters' movies.
Oh yeah.
those are really good.
That was great. Lilo and Stitch is great.
It is
It's one of my favorite movies.
Definitely.
So one of the things that that threw me off about this movie when I first watched it, right, is I hadn't seen it, but I had been to Disney a few times, and I had seen like her float in the parade, right?
Okay.
And so I thought like her brothers as bears were going to be a much larger part of the movie.
Or the
Nope.
brothers just in general.
No,
Yeah.
they're just there to be cute.
But they're only actually in like 5 scenes of the movie.
Yeah, basically.
They're there to be menaces, and that's it.
Yeah. Cute menaces. I like that the witch very clearly only does bear-related things.
Oh yeah.
Like, not just her magic is all bears. All of her carvings are bears.
She even said she has a bear-themed wood carving shop.
Yeah. Only bears.
And people wonder why they get turned into bears.
It wasn't that one Pixar theory that she's actually Boo?
Yes.
Yes. I don't like that theory,
It's not great.
Yeah.
but I understand where they're coming from.
Yeah, because you can also like you can see a carving of Sully in her shop somewhere, and that's typically what people say connects it is that she's a witch.
Yeah.
And like the door magic and
Yeah.
whatnot specifically.
Yeah.
Even though the monsters use technology, not magic, but that's whatever.
Yeah.
I mean, maybe that's what she could do.
It begs the question, how did she end up in Scotland
In the past.
in the past?
She can time travel. She's a witch.
I guess so.
I
She's
just
also immortal, apparently.
yeah, definitely. I mean, magic will do that.
That's fair.
I feel like we should really draw the line between here's like an Easter egg. It's a little nod to another thing we did, and here's a plot point. It's lore. It's canon.
Yeah.
Like sometimes the Luxo Ball is just the Luxo Ball. The Pizza Planet truck is just the Pizza Planet truck. It doesn't mean it's connected. It's just a thing that also exists.
Is the Pizza Planet truck in this movie?
Yes,
it's one
a
of the
wood carving.
carving.
Okay. Because I knew that Sully was there, and I knew that the Luxo Ball was one of the carvings. But I had never seen the Pizza Planet truck as the carving. So.
Yeah, I didn't see it either.
Apparently, also I saw this on IMDb. I didn't see it in the movie, but the Eleanor's belt in the first part of the movie when she's a human apparently has a hidden Mickey on it,
Huh.
which is interesting.
Neat.
Cool.
I think it's neat because they don't typically add like just hidden Mickeys in there anymore. They usually just like add like a doll of something from a movie,
Yeah.
you know, instead of just actually putting just the 3 circles. Which I feel like they should do that more again.
They certainly did it a lot in Kingdom Hearts 3.
Yeah, after Kingdom Hearts
Yeah,
3, I
but-
got kind of sick of it. Yeah. Lucky emblems.
Terrible.
One of the collectibles you have to get?
Yes.
Oof. That's rough.
There's hundreds of them.
And it's weird because Mickey Mouse is a character in that game.
Yeah.
And they're like, it's a lucky emblem. It's like, no, that's the emblem of his kingdom.
Yeah.
It's also his silhouette. You recognize this. You don't think it's weird that it's just everywhere all of a sudden?
That's what atoms look like in that universe. All atoms are Mickey shaped.
A little bit horrifying. Okay. Cool. Good.
That would be terrible.
So, how many of you have read Animorphs?
No.
No.
No, I have not, but Tyrone told me a lot
What is that?
about Animorphs.
You don't
Oh,
know what
I,
Animorphs
I
is?
have no idea what that is.
Oh boy.
That is a cultural disconnect right there. Animorphs is a very popular book series from the 90s, early 2000s. Basically, it's about, like, kids who can turn into animals.
Okay.
But one of the main drawbacks is that if you stay an animal too long, your mind just becomes that animal,
Okay.
which is the connection with the bears that I was making
All
here.
right.
There's also aliens and like a war, and it's actually a very dark series. I don't know why they let children read these.
All right.
My point being, it's the Animorphs drawback. If you stay a bear too long, you become a bear.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's all. I haven't really read Animorphs either, so I was really hoping one of you could bring some more details to this point.
All I know about Animorphs is how cringy the covers were.
I like the covers. It's not like good Photoshop, but it's iconic. Makes for a solid meme.
Yeah, but it's still cringy.
Oh no.
Heather has looked up the Animorphs.
Oh no.
Yeah, it's bad.
I mean, I get the meme part, but
For the time.
no.
For the time.
No.
For the time.
Not for the
It's
time.
not that bad.
Oh,
Just the
no.
horse-faced boy.
The lizard one.
Yeah, I was more of a Goosebumps kid.
I didn't even read Goosebumps. I read Magic Tree House.
I read Magic Tree House.
Magic
were-
Tree
those
House
were
was
good.
good.
It was a
Look
different
at
age
this.
bracket.
Look at this and tell me this was okay.
This is a sound medium?
I know that. I'm
That's-
talking to Jack.
All of the in-between.
Yeah, that's not the iconic ones. You have to look at the ones that are like, here's a person, here's an animal, here's 5 pictures in between that look like neither of those things.
Yeah. Oh, there's one that's a bear, and it does real bad.
I think it's good that they didn't show an actual transformation into a bear on screen.
Oh yeah.
They just had her covered.
Well, yeah, because she would have been naked.
Yes, but like they could have found a way to have her transform into a bear, like where it's just like a pop thing, you know, like pop her hands a paw, you know.
Oh, I mean, that would have been terribly comedic.
Yeah, and they very easily could have done that and
Yeah.
probably gotten away with it. But I think it's better that they just didn't.
Honestly, I thought you were talking about like a Wolfman scenario where it's like, here's the transformation. You can see her like physically turning into a bear, and it looks painful and horrible.
Yeah,
And I'm like, that it wouldn't have been comedic because that wasn't the tone. It would have been like it would have fit the tone better. But I like it better that it is just you can't see her and now she's a bear,
yeah.
and then we can't see her but she's a human again. Like it's, I think it works better. Works better for the medium. Works better for the story.
Yep.
It did kind of pull me out of it though at the end when Merida was hugging her mom,
Yeah.
and then suddenly her mom hugged her back as a human. It's like, hold on, Merida. There's no way you didn't notice anything.
Yeah, and the blanket was still the same
Yeah,
size.
the blanket doesn't move at all when her mom goes from a bear to a human. It's like, that's something here should have changed before that.
And, like, there's no sound from, like, the crowd watching, like, oh, maybe something's happening.
Yeah, everyone else sees this transformation and doesn't say a word about it. They're like, we're just gonna let this be a surprise.
Or make even a single noise.
Yeah.
At all. No shocked gasps.
That is, I think, the one issue I have with this is that sometimes things are way too quiet, like they're way quieter than they should be for dramatic effect. Like the crowd scene, or like at the beginning of the movie when they get attacked by Mordu the first time, and like he just appears next to them.
He's just
He's
there.
Yeah.
there teleport. He's like the T-Rex from the end of Jurassic Park, where it just shows up and eats a raptor out of nowhere. Like, they could hear this thing coming from a quarter mile away before, but now it can sneak up on them in the middle of the visitor center.
Yeah, Mordu's a ninja.
Yeah.
Like, there's like, oh, a hug between mom and daughter. All of a sudden, a shadow. It's like there were several men
Yeah.
there,
Every-
not anywhere near that would have seen. They were in the middle of a clearing.
Yeah. Every single one of those men had their backs turned to the queen and the princess, and they allowed a bear to get within like 10 feet of them. And this isn't just a normal bear. This is advanced bear, all right? This thing is big for a bear.
Yeah. And he's jacked.
Yeah, this bear is also huge.
He's got a snatched waist and like 6 foot wide shoulders.
See, they had the same problem when they were in the room and the queen was like charading to Merida what to say. Like her clan was behind her during that scene, and she was looking at her mom.
Yeah, there were people standing, like they were staying in a circle around Merida. At least one of those groups should have been able to see the queen like wildly gesticulating off to the side.
As a bear.
Also, Merida was just staring at her throughout the entire speech.
Yeah.
There's no way nobody was like, "Hey, what are you looking at? Oh, there's a bear over there feeding you this speech." Interesting.
They're all very blind and deaf.
So what you're saying is they don't think critically.
You're not gonna live this
You're
down.
not gonna live it down.
I'm not going to change my mind about that.
I'm not saying you have to. I'm just saying it's stupid. I'm not saying you have to change your mind. You're just wrong, okay?
Got any more notes?
So, yes, actually.
Good.
So, at the end, when they've killed Mordu and he is returned to like his human spirit, and he's like, "Hey, thanks. I was a bear for like several centuries. That sucked." He turns into a wisp and then disappears. So, do you think all of the wisps used to be like bear people?
Okay, because all right. So I wasn't. So what I didn't know, and I had two theories about this. One was exactly what you proposed, that all of the wisps were bear people at some point, or two, his like, I don't know, soul trapped in a bear body was somehow managing to manifest the will-o-wisps in order to help himself.
That is a crazy convoluted plan. If that was his idea.
So, I always thought of it as like, so the will-o-wisps are supposed to like lead you to like your fate,
Your
right?
fate.
Your fate, or like some way to like change your fate.
Yeah.
But so maybe the will-o-wisps, not necessarily people who got turned into bears by that one witch, maybe just people who, you know, changed their fate and, you know, had like a journey of some kind where they either, you know, made a mistake like Merdu did, or, you know, just ended up dying on the journey.
I do like to think of it more of, oh, they're just like human spirits. Like any human. Not specifically bear-human hybrids.
I mean, it's people who would
Bearmans.
fall into curses or some kind.
Yeah.
I mean, so I thought maybe it was just like the spirit of the older brother just being like, "Hey, look, I need someone to like go talk to the witch and deal with this, and maybe I can get lucky, and they'll figure out a way to help me too."
That is a bold assumption.
Yeah.
Like, his plan was, I'm going to lead someone else to the witch that gave me the spell, so that they can also get the spell. And somehow their breaking their version of the spell will fix me.
Well, also, his soul was trapped
Yeah.
in the bear.
That's what I'm saying. If like he was able to figure out after centuries how to manifest little will-o-wisps.
No.
Well, I mean, if he wanted help, I feel like he would have just been like, "Hey, I'm also an intelligent bear." Like, he was just straight up a bear. There was
Yeah.
his soul
Yeah.
was trapped inside the bear. I don't think there was any kind of like, I'm sending out magic will-o-wisps to get help.
It was a bear filled with rage.
He was 100% bear thoughts.
Yeah, the thoughts were, but the soul on the inside was struggling to reach out.
Romantic, but no.
Stop.
Just saying. His soul seemed to be that of a will-o-wisp, so maybe that's related.
I mean, I think it's related. I just don't think it's related that way. I'm sorry if we keep, like, crapping on all of your ideas. You need to come up with better ideas.
You know what?
They're just not great.
I'm tired of this. I'm going home.
You are home.
There's no escape. Next note.
Well, now I'm looking up, like, the actual folklore for will-o-wisps. Because they are an actual, like, folklore thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. There were a few things that they took from Scottish culture to be like authentic.
Yeah.
So the accent of the son that you just like can't understand the whole time.
Yeah.
That's a proper accent that actor like actually has from where he's from in
terrible.
Scotland.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's terrible.
Well, because like, if you listen to him,
You can get words
Every
of what
10th
he's
word,
saying.
yes.
yeah, I mean it's better than every 10th word, but yeah, no, it's real hard, and I'm sure like, obviously, if you understand the accent, then you can understand him perfectly. But like, it's not gibberish; it is actual words, and I think that's cool. I do kind of wish we
There were
had subtitles.
Yeah.
I think it would have been cool if they gave him subtitles in the movie. You know?
Yeah, I honestly I appreciate that they didn't give him subtitles, because also like within the movie, the people there don't understand him,
Yeah.
so it is. I feel like it kind of takes away from the joke a little bit, but I do kind of wish that if you turn subtitles on, you could
It
see what he was
showed it.
saying.
That would be great.
It's a fun little Easter egg. Although, like on the whole, though, I do appreciate when like movies or TV shows are just like, yeah, no subtitles. This is a joke just for the people who understand it. Like in Adventure Time, every time Lady Rainicorn speaks, she speaks in Korean, and there's never a subtitle for that. Even when you have subtitles on, it just says "speak in Korean." So you need to either know Korean or find someone online who has translated it to
Which
know what she's saying.
doesn't she say just like random dark things?
Yeah, like it's not random, but like she says some wild, crazy stuff that if it was in English would not get past the censors.
Yeah.
Damn.
Like she talks about being pregnant like a couple episodes before it's actually revealed in English that she's pregnant. She says some like real dirty stuff to Jake about like them frolicking through gardens naked and stuff. It's like, okay, hold on. Cartoon Network would not have allowed this if they knew.
They really didn't like even think to check.
I guess not. And if they did, they were probably like, well, most of the people watching this don't know Korean, which is fair.
I wonder what they do for the Korean dub of Adventure Time.
It's in English.
I mean, they definitely pick a different language. It might be English, I don't know.
I don't think so, because a lot of people in Korea like know basic English.
Yeah.
Like it is a thing. Like in South Korea, all of the signs are in Korean and English. Like how in Canada it's in English and French.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's in Korean and English. A lot of people in Korea speak English.
Yes. English is very widely spoken. If you have to pick another language that's much less common for Korean people to know and switch it to that. Still though, it's a nice touch. I like it when shows and movies do that.
Can you imagine if they had subtitles for Chewbacca? Because like you never actually know what he's saying.
Or if they had subtitles for R2D2.
No, they could not do that.
Yeah, they couldn't do subtitles for R2D2.
Swears too much. Yeah. See, that's the other end of it, where it's like, all right, well, there's no way to know what this character's saying.
I figured out what they did.
Okay.
According to Reddit, Lady Rainicorn it speaks in Korean. But the reason they can't understand her is because her voice is digitally distorted.
Huh.
Though it's easy for the viewers to understand her. But they do redub it.
Interesting.
So she might not be saying the same things.
Yeah, probably not.
Interesting.
I completely forgot what I was going to say.
I'm sorry.
Are you guys ready to think critically?
Oh boy.
All right, well, I guess we're not going back to whatever we were talking about.
Guess not.
It's time for Guess the User Review with the HQ Crew.
Cool.
Still kind of wordy, but I'll accept it.
It's the exact same one I did last episode.
And it was wordy then, too.
Yep.
-1 point.
Alright, Jack starting it off strong.
Heather, I really hope you don't like.
No, I don't know. So I'm yeah. You just don't want me to win again, is that it?
I don't want you to be absurdly good at it.
Alright, well let's
Like you
see
got 4 out of the 5 last time.
well, let's see what happens, because I certainly don't know.
Okay. This first review may not be Pixar's best, but still very good.
7.
I was gonna say 6.
That's not a number.
Also 7.
Thoughts?
It's
It seems like an average score.
yeah, it's a pretty straightforward
Average
title.
score is 7.
Josh?
Just it feels like they have a little bit more problems than I think average is 5. Like you go up from 5, so it's a little bit better than average, but it's got a lot of problems.
Okay. This user scored it 8 out of 10.
Ooh,
Jack and Heather split points.
All right.
They just thought it was a really good movie.
We have 0.5.
That's not how that works.
No, you both get a point. The user thinks it's a good movie, but they don't like the writing and the plot, but like the animation.
or the movie.
No, they think the animation's good, but some of the writing was bad. So
I
gave it an
can't
8 out of 10.
I suppose
That's
it could
fair.
be stronger. In
I
some
can't
cases.
disagree. Like the writing was,
So 1 point Heather, 1 point Jack, 0 points Josh. You really got to think critically, Josh. Come on.
Think critically.
Second review. Not my cup of tea, but good for the kids.
6.
See, this one I was gonna say 5.
7.
Back to the numbers game, I see.
Well, no. If he's playing the numbers game, he's doing it bad.
That's fair.
If he's playing the numbers game, he'd go below you guys.
That's fair.
I think it's gonna be a little bit better.
But they specifically said it wasn't their cup of tea.
Yeah, but like you still, if they think it's good for the kids, then as long as they're rating it with the kids in mind.
Why would you take your kids' input?
Yeah, make them write
Josh.
their own
Because this
review.
is a children's movie.
I'm just saying, not everyone listens to their teenage daughters, Josh.
If your kid told you this movie was a bear,
So sorry, what were people's numbers?
I said 6.
I said
6,
5.
5,
7.
7. This is a 2 out of 10.
Oh, wow.
Guys, it wasn't their cup of tea. It was for the kids.
I guess that makes sense.
Pulled into the lead.
No, yeah, they.
Oh, no, you had the 1 point reduction at the start.
That's not
no,
canon.
that wasn't. That
I
wasn't
know,
legit.
I know.
Yeah, they really didn't like the movie, but they argue that they're not the target audience,
Yeah,
and that
so
it's
then
just for the kids.
Don't rate it poorly if it's not for you. Don't watch it.
But they're rating how they feel about it.
It's terrible.
Also, like, if it's a kids movie, it should be watchable by people who have to go with children to theaters.
It's watchable.
Well, apparently they don't agree. They didn't like it.
Was not their cup of tea, Josh.
Those kids can write their own dang review.
Actually, I don't think you can. I think you have to be at least 16, maybe 18,
There's an age restriction on IMDb.
to make an account.
To make an account, I probably 13.
Yeah,
I don't know exactly what it was.
And you think people won't just lie on the internet about how old they are?
Yeah, but you can't tell kids to go rate something if they're not allowed to. Then that's on you.
What?
All right, next one.
I'm trying to find it because I lost it. Hang on.
Failure.
I remember my first Facebook account had my age wrong on it because there was an age restriction on Facebook.
My Facebook account still has the wrong year for my birthday.
I still remember making a Facebook when it was for college students.
Oh
Oof.
God.
Good lord.
Oof.
You're not that much older than me. How? Did you travel back in time? What's happening?
No, I vividly remember being like, "Oh, I want to make a Facebook account, but I can't because it's for college students."
This
Dang.
next one.
Okay.
Great movie, but there is something missing. But what?
Is that the title?
That's the title.
It's a
Oh,
question.
Leads
Yes.
it. Yeah.
It ends with 2 question marks.
Oh, 2.
Yes.
8.
Okay. was weird.
Yeah. Did you
Josh.
both say 8 or did you say some different?
They
Both
both
said
said 8 at the same time.
Because my brain went, what? What just happened?
Well, you can't say I'm copying her answer.
No. Can you say the title again?
Great movie, but there is something missing. But what?
2 question marks.
Can you use it in a sentence?
2 question marks?
I'm gonna
Yeah.
I'm gonna say a 9. I would say 8, but they totally have that cornered.
I figured out how we can break Brandon's game.
We all say the same number.
Yeah, but if you do that, I'm just going to make you all say it at the same time.
Do you have that power?
I mean, I don't know. You guys don't have to play this game. It's just fun. We need a bit on the show.
Do we?
It's
I
better
like
this way.
the bit.
All
It's
right.
pretty good. Bit.
Josh, you haven't won a single time.
No,
I
he's
did.
won once.
Won once.
He
All right, you won once.
What was it? The Matrix? Is that the one you won?
I don't remember. Doesn't matter. I
I've
won
already written
once.
out of my memory.
It didn't happen.
So I said 9.
Okay, so 2 8s and a 9.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
Josh gets the point. It's 10 out of 10.
Oh,
Hey.
all right.
The thing that they say is missing is that it could have been more creative. And I'm going to quote this. And the title should shave uncovered some more of it bravery.
What?
I think they meant should have.
Did
but
you
also,
have a
Should.
stroke?
But also, yeah, the
Did
rest
you
of the sentence
have a
also doesn't make sense.
stroke?
Yeah. So like even if I replace it, it's and the title should have uncovered some more of it bravery.
So I think that they think the title was bravery, and then they took off the end of it, so it was just brave. But that doesn't make any sense.
I think what they're trying to get at is that there wasn't much bravery in the movie, but it was
Yeah.
named Brave.
Yeah. If anything, this movie should have been named Fate.
Probably wasn't for copyright reasons.
Probably.
Yeah. And
So-
Bonds just doesn't have the same ring to it.
But they went, she's so brave for challenging her fate. We'll name it Brave.
I mean, she does some brave things.
She fights a bear. That's pretty brave.
Yeah.
I
I've seen
mean-
bears, they're monsters.
I mean, the original title was The Bear and the Bow.
That would have been a better
I mean,
title.
maybe
agree.
it seems a bit too like traditional fairy tale-y, and this was definitely the era when Disney was like, all right, all of our movies are gonna have really like snappy one-word titles.
Yes.
And it's gonna
Tangled.
be one-word
Frozen.
titles that are adjectives.
Frozen.
Yeah.
Gosh.
Okay, so it's 1
Frozen.
point Heather, 2 points Jack, 1 point Josh.
Gosh, I hate Frozen so much.
Why?
Why?
It was overdone. It was not.
That's not their fault.
It was not that good of a movie.
The movie itself was fine.
Yeah,
Frozen 2 is better than Frozen.
I've
Oh,
never
definitely.
seen Frozen
Yes.
2.
It's really good. You should see it.
Yeah.
it's definitely better.
Frozen 2 is good.
But yeah, no, the fact that it was overhyped, true, but not the movie's fault. If you look at the movie without that,
Oh
It's
no,
a
it's
solid
a
movie.
solid movie. I just
terrible Kingdom Hearts world, solid movie.
terrible Kingdom Hearts world. Trash.
Final one
All
for the
right.
game show. Listen, there's only one more. The title is A Bagpipe of Contradictions.
Good lord.
Is that supposed to
5.
be a pun? Because if
4?
it is, that is awful.
5.
Oh yeah, because a bag of contradictions. That's a thing
Yeah.
people say.
I mean, it is. It's supposed to be a pun.
It's terrible.
It's a bag of contradictions, but it's a bagpipe because they're Scottish.
I've never once heard anyone say that. A bag of contradictions.
Yeah.
It's not a saying. It's
It's
just
not.
that's just a thing. It's some words they strung together that technically make sense.
I'm gonna say 7.
So we have 5 from Heather, right?
Yep.
4.
4 from Jack, and a 7 from Josh.
Yeah.
Bold choice, but you know what? I wouldn't put it past them to have this rated high. In which case, you got it.
We have our very first 3-way tie because it was a 6.
Oh my god.
So the point goes to Heather and Josh because they're both 1 away.
Yeah, I guess.
We have not been doing Price is Right rules. Otherwise, several points would just have not been given. This person wrote 9 paragraphs.
Oh my
Lord.
gosh!
I'll read the final one because I didn't read through the whole thing.
That's fair.
They say, Brave had a great premise and a terrific start, but just too many contradictions to be fully appreciated and too needlessly long to be enjoyed. It's an hour and a half.
Yeah. With credits, it's an hour and 34 minutes.
Yeah.
I do kind of want to know what the contradictions were.
I'm trying to like skim through the paragraphs and find out, but it's like, it's too much.
Because, I mean, like, the movie has a couple writing issues, but contradictions?
Yeah. But like, some of these things seem oddly like blaming woke culture, you know?
Oh,
Because
what
they're
are
like,
those?
philosophy was somewhat turned into an obsession in empowering kids as potential adults, especially girls.
Are they upset that she didn't want to marry some random dudes?
They're upset that, in their words, instead of like having movies address the inner child inside of every adult, they're trying to awaken the adult in every child. In their words.
It's a kids movie.
Yeah.
Why would the adults be the target for the kids movie? Kids aren't adults with inner children, they're just children.
But yeah, it seems like they're kind of mad about the fact that they're not like stereotyping, oh, you're a princess that wants to marry a prince. And instead, it's a princess that wants to take control of her own life.
This is a very boring person who is mad that they're not the target demographic.
Yeah, there's
Yeah.
one other quote in here that I wanted to say. Where is it? Okay, I'll say this quote to end it off from their user review. It's like Brave came to a point where the millennial generation became the prime target, and some executives decided that these kids needed different role models to shape their personalities. So they think that Pixar is targeting towards millennials instead of kids.
I mean, in 2012, yeah, that's a lot of millennials were still kids then. What?
This person is a interesting creature.
I mean, I was in college, but there were several people who are millennials who were in middle school.
Yeah.
Anyway, we have a 3-way tie.
Ah, yes.
Unprecedented.
Tiebreaker.
All right.
2-2-2. So, you guys get to guess the overall rating of Brave out of 10 to the first decimal point. There were 396,000 ratings.
8.6.
7.3.
I've been trying to think of a way to work a Cars reference into this about the three-way tie, but I can't. That's all I thought
We
about.
already
that
watched
entire-
Cars, Jack.
What were your votes? I don't want to say the same thing.
I said 7.3.
8.6.
Damn it. Okay,
Were you going to say 8.6?
I was gonna say 8.6. 9.0.
You think they rated it that highly? On average?
I think they rated it a little bit higher than 8.6.
Okay. Well, the winner, of course, is Heather.
Really?
Foregone conclusion.
What?
Yeah.
The overall rating for this movie is a 7.1
Oh.
out of 10.
It's lower than I thought it'd be.
It's lower than all of you thought it would be.
Dang.
Yeah.
But
I mean, there were a lot of low reviews in the ones that we did.
Yeah.
I think half of them were like below 5.
well, that's not representative. I
well,
picked ones
I
that
know,
are good.
but still. The
I could
fact
pick
that-
all ones just to trick you.
Awful.
Or 3 1s and a 5.
Yeah.
I
If you
control
did
your
that-
fate.
Your feet.
Your fit.
I vaguely remember critical reception of this movie being not that great, but also it was like 10 years ago, so I don't really remember.
Yeah. I know that some people didn't like that she was the first Disney princess that didn't marry a prince and or didn't have any romantic subplot whatsoever.
Was she?
Yeah.
I mean, you could technically say she had a romantic subplot.
It just wasn't
It was
romantic
just
from her
an
point of view.
anti-romantic subplot.
Yeah, but no, yeah, some people didn't like that because she's actually like she's officially one of the Disney princesses, like
Yeah.
part
Yeah.
of the Disney princess lineup.
Yeah.
She's in that one Wreck-It Ralph scene with all the princesses.
Yeah,
I mean, I guess there are some like weird fundamentalist people who are out there like, oh no, princesses must be in love, but like, yeah, she doesn't need to be. It's fine.
see, but I think it's especially dumb that they were like she can't be part of the Disney princess lineup because she didn't fall in love with a prince. Like she's still a princess.
Yeah,
she is the princess of this kingdom.
it's not like I understand if it's like, oh yeah, this one character is a female lead, but she's not a princess. I'm like, okay, fine, she's not a Disney princess, but she actually is though. Like, it's not even like, oh, you need to marry a prince to become a princess. She just already is one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, Elsa technically
She was a princess.
she was for a very short period of her movie.
So, like,
but also
isn't,
most of her life.
Yeah.
isn't the, like, criteria is, like, you either have to be a princess, marry a prince, or, like, do something really brave, which is why, like, Moana and Mulan.
Well, Moana's not actually part of the official Disney princess line.
Which is
Really?
weird because
Yeah.
she's absolutely more of a princess than Mulan is.
No,
Mulan
yeah.
was just a random Chinese woman.
So Anna and Elsa were the last two, like, people that were actually coronated into the Disney princess lineup.
Oh, wow.
That's like an official thing that they do at the parks.
yeah.
And Anna and Elsa were the last two. Which again, everyone at that point was like, but Elsa's a queen.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, yeah. It's so weird that Moana is not like invited.
yeah.
Yeah. Because she's also the daughter of a clan chief.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Which isn't that, like, why Pocahontas is considered... Is she still considered a Disney princess?
I think she is part of the princess lineup.
Pretty sure.
I know at one point, at very least, she was part of the...
I'm pretty
The
sure
lineup.
every like
None of-
every
none of them been
female
fired.
lead from the like original movies, from the old movies, are in the princess lineup.
Alice wasn't a Alice of Wonderland is
Oh,
not
yeah.
a princess.
Yeah, but, I mean, she doesn't fit any of that criteria either.
Yeah, she's not a princess.
There's not an official criteria. They just decide.
Yeah.
Yeah, but,
Like-
I mean, technically, the real criteria is, were they financially successful? But, hey, we're not going to talk about that.
Yeah.
But even still, Moana should absolutely be in the Disney princess
yeah.
Yeah,
lineup.
she was financially successful. Also, they make a joke like at least twice in the movie about her being a princess.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, you're the daughter of the chief. You're a princess.
You have an animal sidekick.
You're a princess.
And now there's also Raya
Yeah, but
from Raya and the Last
she's-
Dragon.
I actually haven't seen that movie.
I haven't either.
It's
It's good.
okay. It's not my favorite.
I know she looks like Korra. That's all. She looks like the Avatar Korra. That's all I
A
know.
little bit.
Eh.
But she's the daughter of the head of a clan-ish
Sounds like a princess.
type thing. So.
Yeah.
Also,
Does
people
something
are upset
brave,
the
yeah.
dragon looks like Elsa.
Yeah,
Elsa
it
does-
kind of
It
does look like
does.
Elsa.
Dragon does look like Elsa. I said Elsa does look like Dragon. I was like, what?
Also, technically true.
I mean, yeah, but
Yeah.
Dragon came second, so Dragon looks like Elsa.
So,
So,
were there any final thoughts on Brave?
The hair physics was cool.
yeah.
Oh,
Also, the mom's hair was just so long.
ridiculous.
It was so long. And there's like a scene at the end where they're like riding and her hair is down and it's just going. I'm like, no,
I mean,
that's terrible.
her hair wasn't any longer before. She just had it in those like ponytail
No,
things.
no, that's not the issue. If her hair was in the ponytails, I would not have this issue. The issue is that she's riding a horse with her hair down, and it is to her ankles. It is so long. Jack, I had hair that went down to my thighs. I know what that is, and it's a mess. That is a tangled mess waiting to happen.
This is
The
brave.
horse?
This is brave.
No, her hair is even Merida's hair, but she has a different hair texture. Like, the mom's hair is not gonna be okay.
I will take your word for it, I
It's
guess.
terrible. That made me just cringe. Just like, oh no, she's gonna be in so much pain later.
But the physics look good.
The physics look
physics look
amazing. The physics, spot on. That's exactly what long hair would do if you were riding on the horse. But regardless, her hair's going to be a rat's nest. It is not going to be fun to detangle. That's all I'm saying.
Okay.
Fun fact, they actually had to write new software to get the physics right for Merida's hair.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because they had written software originally for Monsters, Inc. for Sully's hair, right?
Yeah.
But that's just straight.
Yeah.
It's also
know?
relatively short.
And it's kind of short. But they could like just extend the length of the hair and the physics worked, right? But because she specifically has curly hair, they had to write entirely new software for it.
Yeah. Which is like my favorite thing about Pixar. They're just like, all right, we want to do this thing. We have to make up new shit for it.
Yeah.
Didn't they also have to make, when the first Incredibles movie came out, didn't they also have to make a new thing for Violet's hair?
Yeah, they had to make a new thing for Violet's hair because it was at the time the longest like straight hair they've ever had. They also had to innovate how they did musculature because like Mr. Incredible is this huge beefy man, and it's like we have to make the muscles look good. So they had to rework like how all of that worked with their
Yeah.
modeling and stuff.
And then for Toy Story 4 is the one that just came out.
I mean, relatively, yeah.
I can't remember if they've done 3 or 4.
4. There's
for-
4 of them now.
For 4, they had to create AI spiders to get the webs in
Oh, yeah,
the
the
antique store to look
cobwebs.
natural.
AI spiders, huh?
Yeah. Because if humans draw spider webs, they don't look real. So they're like, all right, we need an AI spider to make this web so it looks like a real spider's web.
Interesting.
And so they like created the 3D environment and then set AI spiders loose to make webs.
Interesting.
Pixar is like the king of 3D animation. And aside from Cars 2, they've never made a bad movie.
I mean, I would argue Planes is a
Planes was just Disney.
was it? Pixar wasn't involved in Planes?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure that was just Disney.
Damn. That's wild.
I gotta look that up now.
What about Good Dinosaur? That was Pixar.
Yeah, Planes was just Disney. So it did
Wild.
spin off of Pixar's Cars.
Yeah.
But
I
it
mean, it's the
wasn't
same
them.
universe.
Yeah, but it's like you don't none of those characters show up in like Cars 3.
I guess.
Yeah, so Planes doesn't count. Also, The Good Dinosaur, I'm pretty sure is also just Disney, but I haven't seen The Good Dinosaur.
It's okay.
I know they reference it in Inside Out.
Do they? I thought it came out after Inside Out.
Yeah, but there is like because they like to call forward too.
Oh yeah, they always do call forwards. Have they done a call forward in like every movie?
I don't think they've done a call forward in every like the earlier ones, where they weren't like guaranteed home runs.
Well, no, but like Finding Nemo had a call forward to Incredibles,
Yeah,
right?
like I don't think the original Toy Story has any call forwards. It has things that like they eventually went and picked up and brought forward.
I guess, yeah.
But they weren't like intentional because they were just like, oh, we're making a movie. It's
Yeah.
got toys. It's got plastic people as the main characters because everything looks like plastic.
Yeah.
The Good Dinosaur was in fact by Pixar.
Okay. Overall, I think the soundtrack for Brave is really good. I mean, they only have what, like 3 songs?
Yeah,
But they're still really good.
Yeah, I was gonna say for a Disney movie, this has really only one song that's like kind of like really.
they're not super memorable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm not downloading any of these songs. They're nice. They fit with the moment, but that's really it.
Yeah.
Like the only memorable song from that whole movie was the one where she's riding on the horse and
Yeah.
goes to the
Yeah.
waterfall.
I'll be honest.
Touch the sky.
The only like thing from the sound design in general that I remembered was the sound of the will-o-wisps.
The children giggling.
Yeah, That's the only thing I remembered, like, sound-wise. I did not remember the songs, not remember any of the background music, just that sound.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Ultimately, it's a nice movie. It's very pretty. It makes me want to like go visit like Scotland and like see all of these amazing landscapes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But it's just a nice movie.
I think How to Train Your Dragon is a better movie
Yeah.
to represent like
Absolutely.
Scotland and Vikings and
It definitely is.
the
yeah.
land. But
This movie did make me want to go to the Scottish Highland Games, though.
Oh yeah, man! I
Yes.
want to go back to those Highland Games. So
I've never
bad.
been to one.
It's so fun.
It was fun.
They had haggis.
Yeah.
Ugh. I don't think I would try haggis.
No.
No, I wouldn't.
And on that note,
Check us out on Facebook, and we got a YouTube channel, and we're on Apple Podcasts, Anchor, Google Play, or Google Podcasts.
Spotify.
Yep, all them things.
Black market.
Not that.
Maybe not that one, but
We
You
can
can
put it
buy
on
our
Black Market.
NFT.
No.
oh, we're not doing those.
Nope.
But you can find us anywhere you find podcasts. Probably. I haven't really checked.
Pretty much, yeah. Anyway, I'm Josh.
I'm Jack.
I'm Brandon.
And I'm Heather.
Good night, everybody.
You gotta think critically.
I knew y'all were gonna say that.